Simche Thamche Dunga Mebi Dewa Thamba Simche Thamche Nyera Chada Nida Antare Tanyo Chame Yamche Chonge Angodani Pema Joni Jesus Gordon Kandro Mambo Keji Jesus Andandro Jingi Loje Sesa Guru Bema saji ya puju shuja medon jira limje nyerde jemba Sarge jande mede bhava drogo namda janla shumba Eda rana mandala kandra thaya Semje Namje Sambandha Loi Chebda Cheta Checho Demo Thamba Chuji Korlo Kordo Duji Sachiri Seno, Janima de Jihonjumba, Sergi Lambo Tower Chibi Shaji Jarbu Zabla Kushan Sar Gumbol Durian Dewanda, Tome Sholan Chujita, Chujun Shefa Wasilas Zamlin Gencho Namla Kushan Zamlan Zibi Janjun Shunida, Tujilon Tonyam Ben Tamgaya, Notre Damba Vipiter Juji, and Kondi Shurkur Dombin Honjinba. Time was Shabla Kushan Shivsha Gunjindola Gypsy, Time was a young took Terenzo, was a long Jenam Kinam Jerb. Jime Limbi Shabla Kushan Mari Sangin Charan Laser Kundo Zambu Monum number Jean, Sipsi Jarinton Linzan Mipam Jamsu Shabla Kushan Pami Tuxi Durjib Dinjumni, Turpin Amrolira Lambikar, Montulonda Rupi Horjib Jingme Pinto Shabla Kushan Kamson Korwa Dunum Jimbe, Sabjalam and Dentar Chemba, Nilu Rajar Tumbi Namjurn. Yeshi Wanchu Shabla Kushan Kunzandur Simgarav Shirusan, Pemakara Jimban Yushunga, Sozor Namnya Tirtunjarsas. Katir Lama Namla Kushan Kanda Shoshu Dungunji Dina, Desalumra Jurwa Kansata, Under Tumbi Shuji Sherbi. Sembrendo Bateda Tamche Darsha Namo Arya Dambal Hai Kedan Ladanu Jinke, Trum Dadami Kenamda, Roa Quinji Jerkesism. Tamche Ket Chujan Tujur Ji Una Nam Gadan Yambi Simchin Tamche, Topshala Name Bayan Dober, Zobi Sanji Kombanam Boje Topercha. Teacher the Dambi Shuganjo Sandi to Nyamsala Jo Nyambe Goni, Chusembe Kundu Shopi Lanturnam Manur Manchugadan Chibe Goni Loppers and Sir. Okay, again prayer. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all sentient beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that kept some close and the other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all sentient beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that kept some close and the other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all sentient beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that kept some close and the other distant. Okay, so we are continuously to explanations from yesterday on the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Truth of Suffering, Noble Truth of Origination, Noble Truth of Cessation, and Noble Truth of Path. So we have gone the first two Noble Truths. So today we are going on to the third, the Noble Truth of Cessation. So the first two we mentioned before, that is the cause and effect according to the abandonment object of the samsara, or the suffering, or the unpleasant object. Because this we mentioned, the sufferings comes from to the origination of karma and the originated body of delusions. So in this way, now today we are going to talk the questions. It is possible to free would be freedom from the suffering, and the answer is because suffering without cause and without conditions, then it's not possible. But that is not the case. Suffering we found with the cause and with the conditions very clearly and logically. So therefore, when you can stop, or when you have the way how to avoid the origination of the suffering, then it will be stopping the fully repent result suffering itself. So in this way, now we're going to talk about the Noble Truth of Cessation. What is the object of cessation? How to stopping the cessation, and the stopping to where? There's 3 different kinds. Maybe we just research. So, what is the object of cessation? That we mentioned this previous the few days. This all is the past talk is kind about the object of the cessation, which mentions suffering and the origination of the suffering. These 2, the cause and the effect, the one pairs of the cause and the effect. That is the object of cessation. Because nobody want to experience of suffering, and nobody want to experience unpleasant feelings. So everybody want to become achievement state of ultimate peace and ultimate enjoyment. So that is why we say the suffering and the origination is as an object of the cessation. That's very clear. So now is this object of the cessation stopping to where? Stopping to where? The object of cessation, the object of the suffering and the origination must be stopped into the Dharma sphere, the sphere of suchness. We can say suchness sphere, or means is stopping into the reality, nature of emptiness. That is the Dharma sphere, or stopping into the true nature of our mind. And then is how we can how can we stop into the Dharma sphere, the object of the abandonment, suffering, and the origination. That answer is depend to the. We need to understand the 4th noble truth. We will talk tomorrow more details. The noble truth of path. We need to rely on the path. For how, if you want to know how to stopping. But the questions, it is possible to stop the suffering and the origination of suffering. It's very, very possible. From the logic and from the reasoning, and also by the Buddha taught us, says. The cessation means is Tarpa Nurzam Zapayin, and that the Ayamitria text says. Or other hand, we can say Ledan Nyumo Zapitar, Ledan Nyumo Namtole, Deda Tuli Tubane, Tombayin Genga Burger. So one verse just I quote from the Nagarjuna text, the root wisdom text, but it says, so is it the cessation is upon is the same meaning, different word we can say stopping, or other hand we can say liberation, or we can say enlightenment, we can say nirvana, same achievement state of nirvana. All is one point meaning and different word cessation. So therefore nirvana is, Buddha says, nirvana is as peace. Why? Because when you have freedom, or when you will be stopping completely of the origination of karma, we mentioned yesterday, and the origination of delusions. That is nirvana. That means is liberation, or liberated. Tarpa, Tibetan word, is the nirvana, or the liberation is when you complete it to exhaustion about of karma and about of delusion. That is cessation, actually. So in this way, now, how can you stop of these two, the origination of karma and origination of delusion? We need to know is performed these two aspects. Origination is mainly from perception or namtole. Namtole in the text that says. This means is that performed from the wrong perception or misconception mind is at the root of delusion and karma. So therefore, if you want to freedom from the delusion and karma, then you must need to avoid the misconception mind or misunderstanding mind or the wrong perception. We need to stopping the conceptuality mind or the concept of the wrong perception mind. We need to stop, which means is the wrong perception is apprehending to the opposite of the reality by the ordinary perception. I mentioned before, nature is of the samsara is impermanent, but we apprehending to permanent. That is wrong perception. And the nature, the reality, the nature of samsara or the aggregates or the existent nature is unpleasant object actually, but we are apprehending to a pleasant object. That is wrong perception. The nature of samsara and the nature of self is as empty actually, but we are apprehending to grasping self inherently of the phenomena, and we grasping to inherently of the person too. So that is wrong perception. And then the nature of person is a selflessness, actually the reality of person. It's egoless, selflessness of person. That is the nature, the truth. But ordinary perceptions, we also apprehending to grasping and the self-existent and inherently. That is wrong perception. That is a misconception. So all those such and such, we can say namto, or perception, ordinary people's perception mind. So that is the root of the delusions. The delusion is at the root of karma. Karma is at the root of samsara and the suffering we mentioned yesterday, more detail. So in this way now, again another question, it is possible to stop the wrong perception? It is possible to avoid of the misconception? Ordinary people's? It's very possible. Because in the text says, which means is you can avoid the wrong perception by the antidote of emptiness, recognition of emptiness. The wisdom of emptiness is the antidote to the wrong perception mind, The wisdom mind, which means is the wisdom, emptiness of selflessness self, and antidote, the wisdom of emptiness of selflessness of phenomena. That is pure wisdom. So when you will be realization, true nature, emptiness of self and phenomena, then you will be freedom from wrong perception. Because the opposite of wrong perception is as wisdom. The wisdom mind is as the opposite of wrong perception. The understanding of the reality is at the contrary, the opposite of misunderstanding of the phenomena. So that is why if you follow the wisdom of hearing, emptiness, and follow the wisdom, focus on the wisdom of contemplation of emptiness, the wisdom of contemplation, and if you meditate or practice with the wisdom of the meditation of emptiness, and then gradually will be one day can realization directly better your primordial wisdom mind. So that is a cessation. The stopping is coming, because you can stop the root of samsara, which is ignorant. You can stop ignorant by the wisdom mind, because when you understand the reality, not only understand, but on top you need to contemplation, not only, but you need to meditate, not only, but finally you need to realization directly the true nature. So first understand clearly this through the three wisdom of hearing, contemplation, and meditation, and then will be experience of the emptiness of self and phenomena. At the end, on top of these first two stages, you will be realization, true nature, emptiness, by your primordial wisdom. That moment you will be completely freedom from wrong perception and misunderstanding. Means is freedom from obscuration of ignorance. And then is you have opportunity, chance will be completely freedom from the delusion, which is desire, anger, ignorance, attachment, so forth. And when you will be completely freedom of the obscuration of delusions, and then you will be freedom from obscuration of karma, the contaminated karma. When you will be completely freedom from the contaminated karma, and then you will be freedom from the suffering of samsara and the faults of samsara. That is a stopping. That means it's a noble truth, or cessation is true. That truth is the possibility. The truth is from noble, noble beings, supreme beings, Arya beings, omniscient beings. They understand clearly. We also will be understand, follow the logic and reason, valid cognitions. Then you can because we're talking now follow of the logic. We're talking about of the valid cognitive way. So therefore, even ordinary people, we can understand if you follow the logic. Then, the end you can understand. Therefore, very possible. This noble truth of cessation, the stopping. Actually, the nature sentient being's mind is primordially pure, sense from beginningless, co-emergently, we can say, or spontaneously. Nature mind is as pure wisdom, and the essence, the luminosity, as compassion is at the luminosity, the essence of wisdom mind. So that is Buddha nature. So Buddha nature pervading equally to the all sentient beings, sense small tiny insect, nature mind, and till the core, the gross level spiritual of Buddha's nature mind are same, equal quality. That is why we say the nature sentient being's mind is a sense from beginningless, primordially pure. Thus Buddha nature is pure. And then the delusion is not the nature of our mind. The obscuration, delusion is just circumstantially appears at moments and there, and obscured to the reality of wisdom and compassion and the moment, obscured to the reality, nature of Buddha nature, and the moments. So why I'm saying circumstantially appears? Because obscured to the reality sense from beginningless, but that is not the point. I'm saying circumstantially. Means is because there no begin, the ignorance is the obscuration or delusions have no begin, but it's a happen. They have the end. Can be ending. Because one day I mentioned to you when you realization true nature by your wisdom mind, that is the end of the obscuration of delusions. So therefore, obscuration is circumstantially appears there. Our nature is not delusion. Our nature mind is not like anger, aversion mind, jealous, hatred, ignorant, the attachment. That is not the nature. That is just secondary mind or secondary the perception, something like the temporary moment emotion. That's just emotionally, profound desire, attachment, anger, extra. That is just temporary perception. That is not reality of mind, So therefore, the reality, nature, primordial, pure wisdom, primordial or pure compassion is no matter how takes time to free from the obscurations, maybe hundreds lifetimes, thousands lifetimes, or kalpas lifetimes takes, to free from this. But still, the fundamental can be like great permanent. We can say great permanent. That's not normal permanent. The nature is beyond the normal permanent, but it's great permanent. Buddha nature is because unchangeable object, the aspect of unchangeable object, undetectable object. Buddha nature is because primordially pure. So cannot destroy nature itself. Even sometimes since we burning in the hell realm, during hundreds years, kalpas, but Buddha nature cannot burn. Cannot burning. Cannot burn. It's pure nature. So therefore, even hell realm, the fire of the hell cannot burn, and then it cannot destroy the nature, Buddha nature, primarily pure nature mind. So therefore, it's very stable. The pure nature is everybody's nature. The Buddha nature is very pure, very stable, very unchangeable object. But the delusion, obscuration of delusion, obscuration of to the omniscient, and the obscuration of contaminated karma, these obscurations are very, very, unstable. It's a very, very changeable object. It's very, very moment temporary appears there, obscured. Like, for example, the pure sky, the pure space, and the cloud. So the cloud at the moment circumstantially appears there, so you can see the pure sky, pure space in the moments when they're very cloudy. But does not mean is the cloud is become one nature of the space. That is not. The space is primordially pure, sense from beginningless. Space is a space, always pure, it's clean. And sometimes you can't see pure the nature of space, because when they're cloudy or windy or something dusty, there's pollutions, and then obscured to the space, pure the pure sky by the cloud. So the cloud is just circumstantially appears there. So therefore, no matter takes how long, but sooner or later can destroy or can exhaustion, can separate from the space, because naturally separate. The cloud naturally separate from space. Space is naturally separated from the cloud. But in the moment you can see is sky or the pure space is become unpure of cloud. But that is our wrong perception. That's not true. Similar, the delusion when you very, very with angry, that moments maybe you feel your mind is become anger. But your nature mind cannot be anger. Never. Cannot be angry. Never. Like the space cannot become cloud. But you can't see they're separate at the moment when the cloudy, that times you can't see separation of these two definitions of sky, pure sky, and unpure cloud. It looks like same, but not true. That's a misconception, mistake, misrecognition. Similarly, likewise, our nature mind cannot become one test of the anger or desire, attachment, delusions. No matter how excessive experiencing of the three portions at the moments, but nature is always pure like space. During the cloudy and the space, same like this. Or the murky water, like water is pure, always the truth, the nature of the reality is pure. But when the circumstantially obscured to the nature water by the mud, and then as we say, oh, that is cannot drink, it's murky, cannot drink. But water cannot become murky, actually. Water is pure, always, it's up. But in the moment circumstantially appears the mud mixed together, and then you cannot see there's difference. Water is become mud, but that's not true. If when you check, go to a microscope or something, and then each the tiny particles of the mud, the ground, and the water is totally separate, is pure. But we can see in the moments they mixture together, and the mix become dirty, the water. Similarly, the anger, the delusions, negative emotions, when you very strong, excessive experiencings, that moment you see your mind is become anger or attachment. But nature, I'm talking the reality mind cannot destroy by the anger, desire, attachment. Naturally separated. But the problems, we have not yet chance to recognize this separation, The true nature, since from beginners till now, have even 1 second minutes have not separated from us, from our mind. The true nature, Buddha nature, even 1 second minutes have no chance to separate from us. But unfortunately, yet not even 1 second minutes recognize to the true nature mind, because the obscuration of delusion, because obstructed by the obscuration of karma, since beginningless, born naturally, we have with the ignorant. This is the problem, So, therefore, anyway, when you understand, when you will be experienced, when you will be realization true nature, and that means you can find the true nature by yourself. One's own true nature you can find from ourselves, by the wisdom mind. That is why is logic and reason, by this reason, by this logic, 100% sure, sooner or later, everybody can become Buddhahood. Everybody we have the potential energy to achievement state of omniscience. Buddha means is a Sanskrit language. It means is Sangye Tibetan. And Sangye literally, the Sang means is freedom. Or Sang means is awake, completely awaked from delusion, from karma, or completely cleansed, completely purified, completely awake, awake up. That is Sang. And Ge, the second aspect of word, Ge means therefore is completely generated of compassion and wisdom, or completed to developing or the increasing of compassion and wisdom. That is omniscience, or suchness wisdom and manyness wisdom, because have no any obscurations left there of delusion and obscuration, or to the omniscient completely will be freedom. So I have no any distractions, no any obscuration, the obscurations left there anymore. So therefore, is the primordial pure wisdom, two different aspects, suchness and the manyness wisdom. That is Ye, Sang Ye, as Buddha means that. So actually, according to the reality way, the ultimate truth and all sentient beings are already Buddha, actually, the nature. But circumstantially and according to the conventional truth way, and then we are not yet, ordinary people yet not enough awake from this ignorance, yet not achievement state of omniscient because obscured by the delusions. According to the conventionally, But according to the ultimately, I mentioned you same nature, Buddha and ordinary is no different anymore, the reality. So that is why everybody, we have the potential energy to achievement state of all-knowing knowledge stage, or the completely enlightenment mind. That is nirvana. That is the cessation, Everybody have the potential to be achievement, the cessation, attainment state of cessation. So that Buddha says, I mentioned to you, to realization suffering, to be realization suffering, to be avoid origination of suffering, to be achievement state cessation. He said to be achievement state of cessation. Cessation is the object of achievement, attainment state or realization object. But everybody have the potential to realization, the cessation, or to be achievement will be achievement state of nirvana. Because I have the logic, the logic, the reason. It's very, very possible. The stopping is very possible to achievement. So, and then when will be achievement state of nirvana or liberation, sometimes people feel liberation means is the achievement, and nirvana means that they leave behind for very far, something leave behind of the samsara, and will be reached very, very some long, the distant destinations, the final destinations, very, very far, maybe thousands of kilometers from here, samsara to in the nirvana. But that is not the case, They have no destinations. Actually, they have no different directions, Because when you recognize true nature of yourself, or true nature of your mind, that is nirvana. As long as you not yet recognize true nature of your mind, that is samsara. So there are no destinations, They have no different different the stages. Only one pointed place. Could you recognize or not yet recognize? That is only samsara and nirvana, finally. So, its nature is never separate, even 1 second minutes, but haven't yet we recognize and chance to 1 second minutes true nature. So now we try to find true nature, true realization, true nature mind. So, therefore, like we say, the stopping object of suffering, of birth, the suffering of death, suffering of old age, the old age, and suffering of ill. Actually, we say death is 100% sure will be coming after the birth, but we already born here, so we cannot stop death, but we can stop suffering of death. We cannot stop the old age, the aging, cannot the age of old cannot stop, but we can stop suffering of the old age. The suffering of the age we can stop. We cannot stop the ill and sick because we have the contaminated aggregates with us here. The projected, fully repentant aggregates is here, so we cannot stop the ill and sick. But we can stop suffering of ill and suffering of sick. That's very clear, very sure. Because you can see practitioners, very, very great practitioners, and non-practitioners. You see, both you can see is getting getting old, the age, but different feeling, totally different. One is very much suffering with the age, the old age, and the other is not. One is very much suffering, is very hard to bear when they're sick, ill, but the other one even sick, ill, and even hospital both, but it's not that much suffering, the mental, suffering, physical suffering and mental suffering. But that practitioners can be freedom from the mental suffering, physically sick, but mentally is free. So therefore the death, Buddha also was passed away 81 years old after he completely enlightenment Buddhahood. But he couldn't stop the death because his body is the aggregates, is there already born in this human realm. Shows us, I'm saying, shows us, he's showing us it could be there because he born with us. But doesn't that mean Buddha cannot stop suffering of death? Buddha completely freedom from the suffering of death, suffering of old age. He completely free from the suffering of ill. But still he dead. Still he getting age, So, therefore, it's important. We cannot stop birth. Already we born here, But we can stop suffering of age, ill, and death, even with this body. Even with this body, I'm saying, it's possible. So in this logic, you can see many to balance the compare of the two very great practitioners and non-practitioners. The experiencing of the situation happened, the problems, and the different, very different. For facing about the problems, very different. These two person, both together angry, they're hungry, but feeling different. Mental suffering is different. Both together thirsty, but the mental suffering is different. Very. So therefore, after what happened after enlightenment, what will be happened after liberation, when we will be achievement in nirvana, when will be completely enlightenment Buddhahood. That means does not mean everything disappear. Still we can reborn in the samsara, but that means we are not ordinary being. After you achievement state, completely achievement state of cessations, according to our Mahayana, Mahayana traditions, you should be reborn again and again till emptying samsara. Because very beginning, your generation bodhicitta mind is you want to benefit to other sentient beings. That is why you want to achievement Buddhahood. That is Mahayana tradition's main projecting motivation, very beginning, when you cultivating mind of enlightenment mind. That is your purpose. Your purpose, the Mahayana practitioners' purpose, not themselves alone achievement nirvana. That's not final aim. Final aim is they want to benefit other mother sentient beings over and over and over and over and endlessly until emptying samsara. So therefore, if yourself only is remaining in the nirvana, then how can you benefit to sentient beings? Because sentient beings training cycle is in the samsara, and you feel yourself is totally separation from samsara to remaining of nirvana alone. That is, they have no any relationships between nirvana and samsara. You cannot benefit them. So therefore, it must be or should be it's reborn again and again in samsara after achievement of cessation. Still continuously. You must be generated by this courage. That is the highest courage we need. We need to highest confidence, this motivation right now. Of course, when you achievement these qualities, that times you have this power. You no need to generate about this courage. But very beginning, we are yet not achievement. That times we need cultivating your mind on this courage. That is the distinguish what is different motivation between Hinayana practitioners and Mahayana practitioners, for example. But now the difference, even they are both, of course, ordinary we are training cyclic existent over and over and over in samsara, reborn again and again. But we have no freedom, I mentioned to you. We are reborn in the samsara depend to the force of karma, obscuration of karma, and depend to the force, under the force of obscuration of delusions and the ignorance. The ignorance is our boss, ignorance is our honor, We have to rely on of our honor of ignorance. We have to depend to our honor or our boss, the boss of ignorance. How we born, when we born, where we born, and samsara. That means we have no freedom. We only depend of the ignorance. So that is why we have suffering. We have with fools in samsara. That is we calling ordinary being. Even your nature is Buddha, but circumstantially and the moments is you are still ordinary. Because obscurations, they are obscured to your reality. And then the Buddha's manifestation, or the Bodhisattvas, the Arya beings, noble beings, those of holy beings, the qualified beings, those reborn in the samsara freely. Not necessarily depend to of ignorance and karma, because they already completed to finish karma and delusions. That is liberation. That is enlightenment. They are already enlightenment. But they're reborn in the samsara by the power of wisdom and by the power of compassion. That's only. So we can say the final achievement state of the enlightenment, the beings are completely freedom from the falling extremes of two extremes of samsara and nirvana. They are completely already freedom falling extremes of samsara by the wisdom, by the primordial wisdom and true realization, selflessness self and selflessness of phenomena, the emptiness. So therefore they are naturally free from samsara. They recognize samsara is nature empty. They recognize the self is person, individual's nature is empty. There's no left something unpure perception object there. So I have no samsara for them. That means they are freedom from the faults of samsara and the suffering of samsara. By the wisdom. Because no self, no problem. That is, means is they are freedom from the faults of suffering. Because their realization selflessness self. So it's no self. A phenomena and person both. So there's no problem. They're freedom from samsara and faults. But not falling extremes of nirvana, because they have freedom from the falling extremes of nirvana by the great compassion. Great compassion, I'm saying. Great compassion means is the bodhicitta mind. Because very beginning, the main motivation is as want to attitude benefit to other sentient beings. That is bodhicitta. Equally, not only benefit one to our people, our friend. That is not only. All sentient beings want to benefit not only 1 year on one life, one's lifetime, not. Sense endlessly, or sense the tale of endlessly, or tale of emptying samsara. So this kind of courage, this kind of motivation is a bodhicitta. Where the compassion, love, kindness with the pure motivation, Bodhisattva's motivation, Buddha's motivation, that is bodhicitta. So, but this bodhicitta mind, when they are realization or when they're cultivating on achievement state quality of this kind of motivation, but this freedom from falling extremes of nirvana. So that's why I'm saying Bodhisattvas reborn and they're manifesting into samsara, but they are freedom still. Naturally, they are freedom from the two extremes of samsara and nirvana, by wisdom and compassion. Because Buddha means, the noble being means, Arya being means, Arhat means, is the unity form of wisdom and compassion, or the embodiment of wisdom and compassion. That is the Buddha. Buddha means is something with one face, two arms, or something is two eyes. That is not the point of Buddha. But just representing, you can see the Buddha's picture, but this is for depend on our capabilities. We have no capabilities to see of the ultimate truth body. So therefore the symbolic body to representing of Buddha and show us, because we are human being, and then they show us like human body. But that is not Buddha. Buddha Shakyamuni himself, he says, this means is somebody to see I'm form, somebody see I'm with sound, that person never seen the reality Buddha, cannot see. This is because still ordinary people's perception. If you feel Buddha is with flesh, with skin, with bones, with organs, something, that means 2 eyes, ears, a tongue, like this, 5 sense faculties, normal form, like this, tangible body, solitude body, if you're thinking like this. But that is not Buddha, So then what is Buddha? It's pure wisdom and pure compassion. The united of the compassion, wisdom. That is the Buddha. So therefore, they can reborn under samsara again and again, but not like us, reborn under samsara and death of negative and karma. Not negative, and the contaminated karma, and not reborn under the force of delusions. Not, they are freedom already. Only reborn in the better wisdom, power of wisdom and power of compassion. So in the text, the Uttara Tantra text, the Ayamutria says, one verse just I quote from the text. So therefore those Arya beings, noble beings, Buddhas are born in samsara, but they are freedom from the death, the suffering of death. They are freedom from suffering of age, old age. They are freedom from suffering of ill. Because they say the real birth of samsara is by the delusion and karma, but they have freedom, or they had freedom already from the karma and delusions. So therefore they have no birth of ordinary. They have not normal birth. They are born and it's just wisdom. So therefore freedom. But still you can see His Holiness Dalai Lama. You can see getting older and older, isn't it? Sure, one day you can hear, unfortunately, he gets sick. Not only the end, it will be paranirvana, sure. But that is our perception. Because he born in this samsara, in this human realm, because these are all capabilities, all capacities. So we have no more pure perception to receive his directly enjoyment body. Our capacity is, still we are very lucky. Really, we have the high fortunate person because we have chance to see directly. We can directly hear his speech of teachings. That also compare other future and the previous beings, and then we are really lucky. But still we are not much pure because we have no lucky like that to see directly of the enjoyment body, But still we can see a manifestation body. That is our capacity. So therefore, as long as our capability is this way, then he appears like this, the aging, ill, and death will be there. But does not mean that he is full suffering and the faults of samsara. Very clear. We can judge. Almost 80-90% you can judge his feeling is how it looks like. Even now it's 82 years old, but looks like a small child. Isn't it? So these tales is his feeling. The appearances is different for us, So appearance for us is depend on our capacity. But himself is free, totally free, suffering of age, suffering of ill, suffering of death. Because already enlightenment. Because I have no desire, no anger, no ignorance, no delusion. We can see clearly. We can judge, it's just, it's generally we can judge. So this kind is, is done, that depend for us. And then sometimes, of course, Bodhisattvas manifestation into animals, hungry ghost, if needed, necessarily to something karmic connections to benefit the animal beings. Some karmic connections appears as a benefit to hungry ghost beings. They have no chance to benefit directly from human body, and then can manifest into the of a non-human like hungry ghost on the animal body. That means is these beings have the same capability. Means their capabilities only have chance to some benefit, receive to benefit from same family. Have no chance to receive the beneficial to the different bodies. So therefore, appears their manifestation into human is as human, animal is as animal. Manifestation into a hungry ghost is as appears a hungry ghost. Maybe you can see also they are also hungry with you, but not. That's just your capability, your capacity is, your perception. But himself is the manifestation of Buddha, appears a hungry ghost, but he himself is not hungry and not thirsty, no suffering of hungry and thirsty. But still you can see he hungry, he thirsty. Because the karmic connection is our perception. So that is very clear today, this samsara. When Buddha completely enlightenment, Buddhahood, and was Buddha-gaya under the Bodhi tree, no difference, very early age, and there was a Hinayana or common traditions, we can say Buddha beginning is like Bodhisattva, the path of meditation. And the end, his life is as a 36 years old, that time he become Buddhahood, completely enlightenment. But no difference, the place is the same. Bodhigaya is Buddha-gaya there. Ring was he is Bodhisattva, and at the end he become Buddha, but no difference there. Or very big common teaching terms in the king palace of that times he is the Gautama, the Stata, right? So anyway, that times the prince, that times is his kingdom with the marriage. That times is also as the palace is same. Before and after, there's no change. Bodhigaya. This means for us is the same, but for himself is totally different. If beginning he is very ordinary, then sure is that is impure, same like us. Samsara is samsara. But is a completely enlightenment Buddhahood, and then his perceptions change. The object of perception is also not anymore the same like Bodhigaya is before. Samsara is nirvana, then become everything. So that is what I'm talking. Nirvana is not very existent separately from this earth or from this world. This world is our perception. For example, your dream. When you have bad dream, you are burning in the fire, or maybe burn your house, bad fire. Then you have suffering very much in the dream, And then is later after hours or minutes, you recognize, when you will be recognized, dream is as dream. And then you understand there's no existent inherently fire. Therefore, the object of fire and the subject of your body or your house, and then the active of the burning, are the three spheres are just illusion. Just illusory appears there. Nature is emptiness because of dream. When you understand, when you will be realization true nature of a dream, then what do you feel? Totally different. That times you have almost feel like nirvana. Very much resting and relaxation, comfortable feeling, But very beginning is not like that. You are very suffering. You have feel very pain by the fire burning you. But both is only your perception actually. The pure dream and unpure dream, positive and negative dream, the object, subject, active, itself are the three spheres only depend our recognition, our perception. The wrong perception, misunderstanding, truly apprehending, truly existent object, subject, active itself, then is you have pain by the fire. When you realization, the object, subject, active itself, three spheres like illusion, nature is empty, then it cannot burn your skin by the fire. Just relaxation feeling coming. That's just example, analogies in the dream is a good example always. Same. Today, the appearances, each person's actually vision is a little different. Even among the ordinary, not everybody same. Some is happy, enjoy in this place. Some is very much is something boring or uncomfortable in this place. place is the same, but the perception is different, recognition is different, feeling, that is feeling different coming, isn't it? So same, because it's important to understand what it means liberate, what it means is the nirvana, what it means samsara. Because sometimes we talk always separately nirvana, samsara, then people feel, where is nirvana? How I go there? If you're thinking this, feel something destinations, then you cannot reach there, never, ever, no possible. But if you understand to find the reality, then you no need to go, we need not move, even one seat can be samsara and nirvana. Before enlightenment, and that is your cushion is on the sitting on the one cushion, and that is samsara. And then is one next moment when you enlightenment your mind, and that times you are sitting not on the cushion, you are sitting on the lotus flower, the pure seat, because everything is pure perception. So anyway, the noble truth of cessation. So this way we need to understand, but the cessation aspect of the cessations in the text can be many, of course, different, little bit different aspects. And briefly we can say symbolic cessation, the part of ordinary way. Because we are ordinary, we yet not achievement the ultimate cessation, but we can still some achievement, the symbolic, the example, or the symbolic, or the representative of cessation. That means is when you meditate, one pointedly focus of true nature, what do you understand at the moments. Still we have the imprint of the delusions, karma is with you, but at the moment you have almost free from desire, anger, ignorance, jealous, hatred, harmful thought. Something is almost you feel is very comfortable with the compassion, wisdom, 1 second minutes. That second minutes is you are almost nearly to nirvana, but not real yet, but that's symbolic, the sign, is possibilities remaining this continuously one day achievement, or when you free from the even imprint of the obscurations. So in this way, I mentioned you before 3 different karma. Immutable karma, immovable karma, the meditative concentration, 1.8 month of meditative, the absorption of meditative concentration, the virtue if you meditate over and over and over, and then when you will be achievement state of the equipos meditative concentration of the absorption of the samadhi, even the mundane path, I'm talking the path of mundane, not I'm talking part of small mundane way. But you can realization, something is like, like space, like empty space, like, or nothingness, or something non-conceptual mind. You can focus one pointedly as many hours, many weeks, many months, many years. For example, somebody achievement state of a form realm, achievement state of meditative the absorption concentrations on the formless realm, then these beings can one pointedly focus on this non-conceptual mind hundreds of years, thousands of years. Sometimes it's the small kalpas, the medium kalpas, intermediate state kalpas, they can remaining one pointed of the single pointed mind of meditative absorption. These can very similar cessation, but this cessation is symbolic cessation of part of mundane way. And then ultimate cessation is beyond of ordinary people's path, because this is relying on the path of noble truth. We will talk tomorrow, and then we will be achievement state ultimate peace, which is nirvana. That is the ultimate cessation. But the ultimate cessation again can division into maybe there's 3 and probably 3 categories, different levels, different beings. One is the arhat of Hirayana, achievement state cessation or the nirvana of arhat. One is achievement cessation or the arhat of solitary realizer yana. And one is achievement state of the nirvana of Bodhisattva or Buddha, the Mahayana practitioners. There's 3 and bravely we can say. So, because when your motivation, your projecting motivation is main point is attitude to want to benefit yourself, will be achievement state of nirvana. And yourself, you as soon possible freedom from the faults and suffering or samsara. That is if your main motivation. And on top of this motivation, then you to found to understand selflessness of the selflessness of person, the individual, better your wisdom mind to realization, but yet not attainment the courage of bodhicitta mind, and not yet realization selflessness of phenomena, emptiness. And then this motivation and this wisdom and this compassion lead you towards to the nirvana yourself. That is arhat. The hirayana, arhat, or solitary realization achievement state of nirvana. They are for freedom from samsara, but they are falling extremes of nirvana, because the motivation and because the wisdom is different. The level is different. But still that is nirvana. Still that we can say enlightenment, of course. Still we can say that is liberation, because they are liberated from faults of samsara and suffering of samsara. Because they freedom from ignorance by the wisdom of realization, selflessness of person. So there's no self-grasping, no self-cherishing. Therefore no ignorant or no delusion. Therefore no karma. Therefore no rebirth in samsara with karma. Therefore they're free from suffering or samsara. So that is nirvana, is peace. But cannot manifestation to benefit sentient beings into samsara, because have no power, the courage, lack the courage, has courage, lack the great compassion of bodhicitta. Does not mean the Hinayana traditions completely lack of the compassion and love. Compassion and love is the essence of all the Buddha's teachings and the practice, the sense of Hinayana and Mahayana. But compassion and loving kindness have different levels, So bodhicitta mind, they lack bodhicitta mind. This is the problem, So therefore they are falling extremes in the nirvana themselves. In the moment, anyway, that is one nirvana, the ultimate nirvana, ultimate liberation, but not as the complete enlightenment of Buddhahood yet, not. And then the Bodhisattva achievement state of path of seeing, because 5 paths, this we talk tomorrow. But when the achievement path of seeing means they are freedom from ignorant, delusion, and karma, but yet not completely freedom, obscuration, or to the omniscience. So therefore they still enter into the path of meditation, first bhumi into 10th bhumi. That is during the path of meditation of Bodhisattva. But they are freedom, samsara, and nirvana both. Actually, they have freedom from nirvana and samsara both. But this is not final yet. So therefore, after beyond our 10th bhumi and then path of no more learnings, Buddhahood, that is moment they completely achievement state of omniscience, omniscient mind. That is the final cessation. The finality cessation is as Buddhahood. Buddhahood is as the finality cessation. So the cessation we call symbolic cessation, the ultimate cessation also arhat cessation, solitary realization cessation, Bodhisattvas and the temporary cessation, the moment cessation, and the path, and Buddha's finality cessation, the stopping, noble truth of cessation we're talking. So, anyway, according to we're talking cessation of symbolic cessations, even since now, we must be start. For example, the anger, to stop as much we can, less anger, less attachment, and with experiencing less of the less ignorance of every day, each week, each month, each year, less and less. The antidote by the compassion, wisdom, loving kindness, or something, peaceful meditations, pure motivations, something still is that is not the beyond of the samsara, and not yet achievement path of liberation, but still we can little bit stop, At least we can stop the even ordinary people, but you can stop the negative emotion. Therefore, least you can stop of the negative action. I mentioned you this yesterday.
the origination of karma. You can stop the origination of negative karma. You cannot completely stop the contaminated karma at all, but you can start right now. Even we are ordinary, even we yet not understand the emptiness of selflessness, self and person, but still you can start to stopping the progress, to stopping the stages of the delusions and the karma. So least Dharma practitioners, at least you must be yourself as the assuming of the abilities of the to start to stopping negative karma and negative emotion. At least, because if you least can start to stop now on your life is the negative karma, negative delusions, emotions, and that means you will be freedom immediate next rebirth, falling unfortunate 3 lower realms, hell realms, hungry ghost realms, animal realms. No need to worry. If you can, cessation, if you can stopping the negative emotion and the negative karma. And then we are ordinary, we can collect a positive karma, but still contaminated, but positive karma. So positive karma lead us, and in this life become more happy life, long life, healthy life, comfortable life, enjoyment life, peaceful life. In this you have very great person become. Not only, but the positive karma and positive emotions leading us immediate next rebirth, 100%, we can guarantee better logically, reasonably reborn again in the higher fortune, human realm or God realm. Not only just reborn, but you immediate next rebirth, you have opportunity chance to born in the red family, red country, and red place. Means is you have immediately to find the chance to further continuously to go in the keeping your previous the positive action, because the karmic connection, that is a karmic connected, positive karma, karmic connected to the next rebirth again continuously. So that is a progress lap after of another lap, slowly, no matter takes how long to enlightenment, but sooner or later one day will be achievement state of nirvana is coming. So therefore it's just the temporary cessation is very important to know, to stop negative action and to stop negative karma. And then on top is good if you can start even the positive karma, change into the contaminated positive karma, transform into the uncontaminated karma. So now what is uncontaminated karma? That we're not going talking today. We will talk tomorrow. That is the last noble truth, the noble truth of path. That times we will talk the uncontaminated karma. The uncontaminated karma is the antidote to the contaminated karma. Contaminated karma is as the causes of samsara. Uncontaminated karma is the actual cause of nirvana. So that's the cessation. And the noble truth of cessation, again, I mentioned yesterday, each these 4 noble truth we division into there's the 4 aspect of the truth, or means 16 aspect of the 4 noble truth, antidote to the 16 the wrong perceptions, which is on the text that says, Dembare la jirete, martak dungar ton damet, Jodang Gonjon Rapkin, Goshikanam Nipranjon, Lamrik de Perninjin knows. The Abhidharma text says. Which means is this I mentioned you the 16 aspect antidote to the of 16 wrong perception of these 4 noble truths. So we mentioned the first 8 from this 4 aspect from of suffering, noble truth suffering, and another 4 aspect of the cessation, the origination I mentioned yesterday. So now the third 4 aspect of the noble truth of cessation now, which is the aspect, this stopping, the aspect of peace or pacified, and the aspect of completely satisfaction state or excellence achievement state of excellence, the aspect. And the fourth one, renunciation, aspect of renunciation. That's the fourth aspect, the noble truth of cessation. So why we going to explanation these four aspects? Because it's so many the different kind of the wrong perception, misconception to the of cessation among the human realm beings or the ordinary beings. But the classific countless different wrong perception of the cessation is can be invariably including our division into of these four. These four means the opposite of these four. Therefore, we need to know the antidote to that of the wrong perception of the cessation. So, first one we say aspect of cessation or aspect of the stopping. Because sometimes somebody they feel it's there already, as from some traditions, the non-Buddhism traditions, some. But even no matter you are tradition or not, but you also sometimes we also can feel, oh, no possible stopping of the samsara, the suffering of samsara, or the force of samsara that's normal, that's the regular, that is the nature we feel. It's how could we can stop this all? It's not possible. If you feel this, if you're thinking this, if you decide it, follow the wrong logic and reasoning and holding this wrong view, that is wrong perception. One, the aspect of wrong perception of these four, of this noble truth of cessation. Therefore says that's wrong. The cessation is true. Stopping is a very, very 100% sure possibilities. I mentioned why that I'm not repeating again. I mentioned to you already almost 1 hour. Why possible the cessations? What is the logic? What is the reason? Everything I mentioned to you. So therefore, is the aspect of cessation is at the understanding the aspect truth of cessation is the antidote to the of misconception without of the cessation. The thinking about cannot cessation, stopping of the suffering and samsara. That's not true. So that is why aspect of cessation. The understanding is the antidote to the misunderstanding. Very clear, So wisdom is the antidote to the ignorance. Very clear, So it's possibilities, the cessation. And then is the pacifist, aspect of pacifist or peace. So the aspect of peace, that is because somebody or some non-Buddhism tradition followers, even they can accept cessation, or they feel as possibility stopping of the delusions, karmas. But their thinking is that this cessation of the delusion or the karma is just the specific temporary moments, only possibilities, the cessations. For example, when you go and meditate, practice, or some use many special the techniques, and then you have freedom from the coarse level desire, coarse level anger, coarse level attachment, or coarse level of jealousy, so forth. For example, when you come abiding meditation alone without wisdom, still, if long term you meditate, come abiding meditation, when you achievement one sangal pondet amount of desire, and then you feel as almost you have no desire, no anger, no jealousy, no hatred. You cannot feel, you cannot experience it. You are very calm. You are very calm. You have very peaceful your heart. Not only, but they can focus one pointedly the equipos meditative concentration. I mentioned you before. For example, the achievement state form less realm, but the samsara state. They have no any antidote directly to the ignorant, the root of ignorant, the imprint of delusions, the imprint of karma cannot change. But the coarse level, the temporary moment of the growth level, delusions change there. And therefore the coarse level negative action is, and the karma is changed. So therefore they believe that is nirvana. They think that is the liberation. but that is not ultimate liberation. That is a symbolic cessation I mentioned before, symbolic of the mundane path, the path of the mundane way, not yet enter into the path of super mundane way. So, but the mistake. So, Buddha understand that's mistake. Buddha himself also, Shakyamuni Buddha, was follow some non-Buddhism of the Indian master. He learned, studied, and meditated of that kind of abiding meditations. He focused on the cessation, the path of the modern way. But the end himself, Buddha himself, he understand that was the not good, quite good enough understand. The mistake, that is nirvana, but not true. Cannot liberation, cannot beyond the peak of existent. The method can be born even from realm, from less realm, and the peak of existent, but cannot beyond, because they have no antidote to the ignorant. So Buddha left this teacher or something, these traditions, and then himself he found the realization of selfless, the self and emptiness by wisdom mind. And then he meditated, practiced. At the end, he completely enlightenment, Buddhahood, you know. So anyway, so this kind is the second aspect, the antidote to these misconceptions, perceptions, with the antidote with the aspect of pacifist or peace, not only temporary peace of the delusions, but completely free or become the pacifist to the of the true nature, the root of the delusions or the imprint of delusions or the imprint ignorant can destroy. So completely peace become peace, not temporary peace, you know. That is second. And the third aspect of the cessations, or the cessation of the completely satisfaction, or the completely the excellence satisfaction stage, the fourth aspect. So this means is the aspect of completely satisfaction, because according to the of some among these human realm beings, some of these human realm beings, or some of non-Buddhism traditions of among these human realm beings. I doesn't like point to use the who's this tradition, okay? That's why I would say some. This is more comfortable for everybody. So anyway, and then they believe cessation, but very, very temporary moments can avoid the coarse level of suffering. Coarse level of suffering, gross level of suffering of sick, ill, age, or something like the problems, the obstacles can stop. So therefore the cessation is as the some specific stages of the suffering, not completely freedom of suffering, but they recognize this cessation, the liberation is as the specific stages, the specific level of suffering, which means it's a very, very tiny level of suffering. Achievement state, very, very the subtler stages of suffering, no coarse level suffering, no coarse level unpleasant feelings, you know. So they are freedom from the coarse level obstacles of suffering. So that they believe that is nirvana. They believe that is liberation. They have no more chance to free. But this is also same like before, similar, the first one, the second one, very similar. But second is according to the of delusions. The third one is according to the of the result of suffering. So that also mistake actually. But the method is what they understand is good, because you can achievement state at this level, but you cannot free from samsara. You cannot free, you cannot stopping at all of suffering, because that is your purpose and the moment, the specific the stage of suffering. So Buddha understand, and the logic we can find understand the method to completely you have satisfaction, achievement state or satisfaction. Not only to change the coarse level, gross level suffering, but even you can cut the root of suffering. You can damage, you can destroy, you can control even the imprint of suffering completely. Not only gross level, that not achievement is some specific state of suffering, but completely you freedom from sense gross level and the tail of subtle level of suffering. Because all the logic I mentioned to you briefly, the previous and today. And tomorrow we will talk of the path of liberation. That terms also you can find something why, can cut the root, So that is the completely the aspect of completely satisfaction stage, or excellence achievement state of excellent satisfaction or satisfactory state stated. And the last one, the fourth aspect of this Noble Truth of Cessation, aspect of renunciation. So aspect of renunciation or disengagement. So aspects of renunciation means is because some of these the human beings of this human realm, or some of the another non-Buddhism tradition followers, they believe nirvana, they believe liberation, they believe also some possibilities and cessation, but it's only temporary cessation. They believe achievement state of temporary cessation, temporary liberation, temporary nirvana. But one day, sooner or later, and will be returned back, falling back again in samsara, with ignorance, with delusions, with karma. Therefore, it will be experienced the suffering again. No possible completely endlessly, no possible is continuously enlightenment, but can be hundreds of years and even kalpas can liberate. But like shooting the bamboo arrow, is a very strong person, and the shooting can be maybe is kilometers, it can very far in the sky, but it's, no matter how can you through, is sending, but is when they lose the energies, the length of the energies, the power of the shooting, and when they're gone, and then it's falling back, the bamboo arrow, no matter how far. Each person's the different power. Some is maybe meters, some is maybe kilometers, some is maybe few kilometers possible. But anyway, as the end is falling back. The arrow, bamboo arrow. Similar, because is the liberation, the temporary liberation is the achievement state or temporary liberation is by the power of projecting energy of meditative concentration, the absorption of meditative concentration power. And then when one pointedly focus of this meditative absorption, when the projecting energies finish, maybe 1 year later, maybe it's 100 years later after, maybe it's thousands after a year, or maybe kalpas. But anyway, cannot be the energies linking and continuously, no possible endlessly. So therefore, it's returned back again. Means a wake up from this meditative concentration and then falling samsara again. There's no renunciation at all. Renunciation of samsara no possible. This is just temporary. But better logic, perfect logic, and better Buddha's omniscience, both they recognize as that is wrong. As a misconception of the cessation, the misunderstanding of the cessation. The ultimate cessation can be renunciation at all. Always can be renunciation. Once opportunity chance, somebody, if you are achievement state in nirvana, then they have no logic return back again. Because once opportunity chance, you have realization, true nature of selflessness, self, better your wisdom mind. Then your mind is the stream, your mind is become into the antidote to the ignorance. So your mind become realization, the antidote of the primordial wisdom, and then have no chance appears circumstantially of ignorant there again. There's no chance. Like ours is bread, the lightning of the solar of the sun is there, and that they have no chance appears the darkness there. So your mind is the true realization, your wisdom mind, true realization, true nature of the selflessness, self. Wisdom mind is there, ours. And then how can they have chance to appear as the ignorant? Ignorance is a misunderstanding. Because understanding is there, and then how can have chance appears the misunderstanding? So very beginning we have misunderstanding because we are yet not understanding. So have chance. But when you understand, then have no chance. There's a misunderstanding appears there because your nature mind become understanding. That is. Okay. So it's once opportunity chance you free from ignorance, and ours you freedom. because always your nature realization of wisdom. Wisdom is always antidote to the ignorant. Have no chance again. So that is the aspect of renunciation of cessation. So somebody, if you want to understand of noble truth of cessation, somebody want to experience the noble truth of cessation, somebody want to be realization, noble truth of cessation, then we need to understand these four aspects. It could be antidote to the of your wrong perception of this cessation, misunderstanding to the of noble truth of cessation. That's why. So, however, that is today. We leave here, and then the rest noble truth of part we will talk tomorrow. So, anybody, if you have any questions, we have. Yeah. So now going to the question answers.
If I may ask, is the word soul is mentioned in Buddhist scriptures?
Say again.
Is the word soul mentioned
okay.
in Buddhist scriptures, and if so, is the soul the one that is choosing to come back to reborn in the purpose of helping itself and others?
Actually, the source, not so important you use which word, but important to understand upon the meaning what is the source. So according to the like Christianity or some traditions, they also use. But that times you must need to understand how their description, how their explanations, how they to recognize the definition of the source. What is the characteristics of the source of from them tradition of, and then if use of philosophy called Buddhism tradition, if sometimes can use with a source again, the consciousness actually, but we can use source, but that times you need to understand what is the point meaning of according to the Buddhist philosophy point of view with the source. Then what is the different characteristics? What the different the definitions? And then it's the same name, but sometimes it could be different view. Maybe sometimes it's both is calling in same word and meaning also can be same. But is the same meaning or not? I don't want to say today. But you yourself judge check. But we can say we are reborn again and again, and from the past life means the source from past, and as then is the resultant is for future, but comes from producing the previous source. Source means is the projecting the consciousness, achieving consciousness is the source, and the achieved consciousness is the result of the source. Okay, so in this case, even the momentarily our nature, the best of all consciousness is in the momentarily change, moment by moment change. So the first moment clarity awareness could be source to that the second moment of consciousness. The second moment clarity awareness again becomes source to the of third moments, the clarity awareness, And this life, our consciousness, the best of all consciousness could be the source of next rebirth consciousness. For example, next rebirth, without next rebirth consciousness, clarity awareness could be the source of the birth of the consciousness, clarity awareness, for example. Okay. So in this way, the source we can use many different ways, and then even ordinary people's mind, the continuity, the stream, we can sometimes stream mind. All ordinary people's stream mind transferring into extraordinary stream mind, but that means is wisdom. Ordinary people's wrong perception mind transferring into the extraordinary wisdom mind, So that also could be the source, reborn again in the samsara benefit to sentient beings. But the aspect is I mentioned you today, compassion and wisdom. These two is the main source, how reborn in the samsara benefit to sentient beings after enlightenment. So look, we can use the source, but we need to understand what is the different traditions, a different talk, one word and the point meaning, But I hope everybody become one meaning, same meaning, okay? But it can use one word, but it can be different meaning sometimes. But anyway, which is logical, which is reasoning, that is the truth. So we need to talk about truth. because Four Noble Truth, right? So we must be to find truth. So truth comes from no matter which traditions, we must be accept. From Buddhism, from non-Buddhism, or which traditions, no matter which traditions, which countries, which colors, which language, that is not the point important. Important is which is logical, which is reasoning, which is the truth, which is the reality. So Four Noble Truth is as a noble truth, actually. So, but you still can judge, you still can check, you should be judged, you should be checked. The end, if you found some fault, then you can discuss, you can debate. But if you are logicians, I don't think you found some faults about this noble truth. Then it's not Four Noble Truth, is we can transform into maybe four mistake one day, if you found some faults. But it's not, I don't think. So anyway, it's a source you can use, but the word. But it depends. Even in the inside of Buddhism, we have mainly is four great classes, four course level, the grace was the classes, So the four great schools in Buddhism, and probably Vipassana school, Sutrantika school, Chitamata school, and the Madhyamika school. But inside, even this all is Buddhism tradition and Buddha's teaching, but it depends different levels because the sub school and high school is the object and subject is more vast, more extensive, more deep. So therefore, even these both they use with a consciousness. We can use like clarity, awareness, but the definition is a little bit different aspect, But does not mean first definition is wrong, but not enough to understand, not enough explanations deeper way. That is point, So they have level. So therefore, sure, between Buddhism and non-Buddhism, sometimes we use one word, but it's a different meaning. Sometimes we use different word, but the same meaning also. Like compassion. It's the same word, but same meaning almost for all the traditions, compassion and loving kindness. But if you go to bodhicitta and then compassion love, even is from Hinayana or Buddhism, it's very different. The compassion love is the same word, but different meaning coming then, isn't it? We talk a little bit about today also. So,
I might be wrong, but I wrote, delusions are not the nature of our mind.
Mm-hmm.
They are circumstantial.
Sorry?
They are circumstantial.
Oh, circumstant, yeah, appears.
And then I wrote, the delusion has not beginning.
Yes.
What does it mean?
That means it's no beginning. So anyway, but they have end.
Yeah, this is...
Okay, that is that I'm saying.
Yeah, but why there is not beginning? What does it mean?
Or because we are born under samsara from beginningless. That is. But now maybe why we are born from beginningless? Yeah. That you want maybe nature feeling. Ask it. In this case, we need to talk more deeper. Because you ask more deeper way, then my answer also go to more deeper way. Then you have more headache. But however, is now, and bravely I can say why I have not begun the birth. Because the clarity now we need to talk about because the fundamental of the birth is the consciousness, the mind. The stream of mind is the source of the birth. I today a little bit talk. Mm-hmm. So now you need to understand what is the nature, the definition of our mind. I'm not talking the reality according to the of ultimate truth, but I'm talking about of conventional truth. Okay, mm-hmm. Even conventionally, what is the truth nature of your mind? Clarity and awareness. These two aspects is as the definition of our conventional truth mind or consciousness. Our consciousness nature is clarity, awareness, according to the even conventionally. Okay? So now, how we know our nature mind is clarity? First, you don't ask me. You ask yourself. Means is, could you can experience the reflection of object of knowledge, sound, smell, taste, tactile sensations on your mind? It's clear. I'm sure you don't need thinking. Is yes, because you can hear me now, right? Okay, that's clearly. So that means is the power of clarity. Clarity opposite is darkness,
Yeah.
of fogginess or something ignorant. You cannot hear, you cannot experience any the reflection of the object
Yeah.
of knowledge, but you can feel arising can appear on your mind clearly the reflection of object, sound, smell, taste. That means is your nature mind, the quality, the clarity one. But only appears the reflection of the object on your mind. But if lack second aspect, the awareness, then you cannot distinguish which is good, which is bad,
Yeah.
which is the pleasant, which is unpleasant. But that's not true. You can very clearly can distinguish, because when appears the reflection object of pleasant, then you feel pleasant. You can, your sensation is a feeling, is a very comfortable feeling and pleasant feeling. When appears the reflection of object is unpleasant or non-attractive object, and then your feeling is also is an unpleasant feeling. You feel, you don't need to ask other people, am I feel sad or happy? Okay, you don't need. You can feel. And then when appears the reflection of object is not attractive, not non-attractive object, but is a neutral object. And then what are you feeling? Not pleasant. You cannot feel the unpleasant, but you can experience neutral feeling. Yes, that means is you can to aware, which is pleasant, which is unpleasant, which is neutral. So these two power have the source. The power comes from nature. I'm using now source. Okay, so the power comes from your quality, your mind, our mind. So our consciousness, the power is clarity, awareness. That is the definition, that is the characteristics of our mind. First, we need to know what is consciousness, what is mind, okay, that is. So, actually consciousness, the mind is in the 18th century, we're not going many talk, so the time is now. So anyway, so in this way, the clarity, awareness, everybody, you and me, or each sentient being, we have the continuity, clarity, awareness, the consciousness. So now what is we have existent continuously. Continuously means is moment by moment existent or changing momentarily. This is clear, as there's no need doubt, as it's very easy to understand, momentarily change. So if no change, then once you appear anger, then always angry. Okay? Once appears compassion, then always compassion, if no change, but not true. Momentarily change. But lucky, therefore you can progress your qualities. Therefore lucky, you can damage your misdeed things. We can change momentarily. But anyway, many logic. So now what is the stream mind, the clarity awareness, the stem of clarity awareness is collected so many hundreds, thousands, billions of the momentary, right? And this way, now is like we're not talking thousands moments, but we're talking 3 moments. The continuity and part of 3 moments. Present moment of clarity awareness, past moment of clarity awareness, just immediate preceding the past moment clarity awareness, and just coming in the next moment clarity awareness. These are the 3 is we say stream mind or continuity, right? These 3 moments together, linking, just you perceiving, and then that is momentary, as a continuity. That is. So these 3 moments is collected more than 1 hour, or 1 day, 1 week, 1 year, whole life, kalpas of continuity in my mind, right? So now the 3rd moment of clarity awareness can appear itself automatically, causelessly, independently. If you are logicians, you can't say no. Because the 3rd moment of clarity awareness must be dependent to the 2nd moment clarity awareness. Like this, no possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Now again my question is the 2nd moment clarity awareness again is necessary to depend to the previous cause conditions or without cause conditions.
Yeah.
No possible without cause condition, right?
Yes, it depends on
Okay.
the previous one.
So therefore the 3rd one is not the last one. Must be 3rd one also depend to the 4th one, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So have no begin, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So therefore we are born under samsara from beginningless. Okay, that is
Okay, thank you.
the logic. Okay, so we go in a dedication prayer.
son de tamje sibanye tomne nibe dana pamshe jang Sherga nanje parmo trubaye sebe anzole drowa shu ande na tu sanjerwa gerza chirnye samba Majur semche tamche la sanje thobi jurmo jampa pawo chetar kemba tha kundu sambo te tevje Deda kunji jis dalo gewa deda tamche ram tuyongo tu sa shambe jawa tamche chon de ngambani dage angewe sawa de goncha zambo choshi ramde ngo kunza dorje chanje manche ne chanje sae lama yanche drove donde mono kanda amha teda thamje daje yandre Chewa ya kondo yanda lama na drame chunye ya perla Sanda lamje ayonde ramzo ani dorje anshanga kompa Yerto Sho